Warning, this podcast contains heavy spoilers for not just one movie, but entire franchises. We highly recommend going and watching these movies before listening to us as a companion piece that stitches all the timelines into one creepy, crime-ridden story. There will be no more spoiler warnings. We do not break character. After this, there is no turning back. You've been warned. Hit the music.
You are talking about the nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's
It's alive! It's alive!
Hello and welcome to It's Alive podcast. This is a true crime, paranormal, interstellar podcast covering unbelievable stories that sound like they were ripped straight from the pages of a Hollywood script. I am your host, the outlaw Dr. H.Jar Smokenstein, THC, and with me as always is my very own scream queen, the perfect combination of beauty and brains, the bride of Smokenstein, the India hard expert, the guts and gore, the gorgeous, the sexy Amy Rose.
Hi, you ran out of breath.
I always nearly run out of
No, that time you ran out of breath.
I still got it done, didn't I?
You did.
And we just noticed we're matching.
Mhm.
We both got a root hang on.
Yep.
And now people can see it.
Mhm.
Because usually I say go to Patreon to see this, but we decided that Patreon has kind of gotten to a point now. We got so much on Patreon now that it's kind of holding its own.
Exactly.
And it doesn't need the videos anymore to be exclusive to get the people over there. There's so much going on over there with Playing with Bones, Wrestling with Time,
Yep.
with It's Live Action. And we're hoping to, when we get ahead of ourselves, to start releasing these a little earlier on. No, I was saying that to you. There's going to be early release for the main episodes. It might be a week early. It might be a day early. I don't know, depending on how our week goes. But it'll be early.
Yes.
Soon. Not now. But
We'll get there.
so today we're going covering a pretty controversial topic in Irish history.
Mhm.
And we originally were planning to kind of go all a march with Irish history.
Then, like you said, it got
Depressing.
depressing.
Fucking hard.
Yeah.
Because it's not a very fun history.
No.
I mean, there's a reason why, like I said to you earlier on, it's like, we're like the sad clown, really, aren't we? We would put on a brave face to everyone and we're funny and nice, pleasant Irish people.
But inside,
To
we're
everybody,
dying.
way inside, that's why we drink so much. And it's the Catholic Church's fault. I'm like a broken record at this stage. I feel like I'm saying this every
Hearing it
fucking week.
every fucking
Well,
day.
fucking people should get their head around it. So, do you want to explain what we'll explain what the Laundries are and why they're potentially the most haunted buildings in Ireland.
Yes.
And that's because hundreds and hundreds of babies are dying there, or were
And
dying
not just
there.
babies. The mothers were
know,
dying as
but I
well.
think
But I
those
mean, the
baby
babies,
graves had been-
that's yeah.
We'll get into
The
all
worst
that in a
parts of
few
it.
minutes. I honestly thought this was only an Irish thing, though. And I
Mhm.
was pretty shocked when I started to research this and realised there was laundries
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the fucking world.
Yeah. There
Everywhere.
absolutely was.
You only really hear about the Irish ones, though.
That's because we're in Ireland. But there's been
true.
movies released about the Aboriginal kind of industrial schools.
Oh, yeah,
and,
Australia is one of them. England,
Mhm.
Canada, the United States.
Mhm.
See, I would have seen it in the United States. I would have expected it in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so many of us went there and they have a lot of Catholics over there as well. I think it kind of caught me off guard everywhere else. I just didn't think... Because I don't hear
I
as many
knew
horror
about
stories.
Australia. I'll be honest there. Like, I did know about Australia, but I presume anywhere that, like, the Catholic Church kind of touched, you'd have it. Yeah.
Touch of evil, that is. Do you want to get into what the Magdalene asylums are? The Magdalene Laundries? They call them laundries. They're asylums.
Well, they
Let's
were
get-
laundries because that's the work that they were made to.
Yeah, slave labour they were meant to do.
And I suppose there is kind of maybe an ironic tone to that name as well. It was a laundry, you were washing the sin from your soul kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, I suppose so. Do you want to get into it so
Yeah.
people get it?
so the Magdalene asylums, they were also known as the Magdalene Laundries, like you said, named after the biblical figure Mary Magdalene. They were initially Protestant, but later mostly Roman Catholic institutions that operated from the 18th to the late 20th centuries, ostensibly to house fallen women.
You You know it's bad when the Protestants are like, no, you can have it.
Yeah. Not touching that
Usually they
one.
like taking stuff from Catholics, but now they're like, you have it. It's cool.
The term referred to female sexual promiscuity or prostitutes, young women who became pregnant outside of marriage, or young girls and teenagers who did not have familial support. They were required to work without pay apart from meagre food provisions, while the institutions operated large commercial laundries, serving customers outside their bases. Many of these laundries were effectively operated as penitentiary workhouses. The strict regimes in the institutions were often more severe than those found in prisons. This contradicted the perceived outlook that they were meant to help women as opposed to punishing them. A survivor said of the working conditions, "The heat was unbelievable. You couldn't leave your station unless a bell went." Laundries such as this operated in the United Kingdom, Ireland, Sweden, Canada, the United States and Australia for much of the 19th and well into the 20th century, the last one closing in 1996.
That's way too late on. I didn't think it was 1996.
That's our lifetime.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And this is a big Christian thing, not just Catholic, but the idea of
working,
punishing yourself, punishing
exactly.
yourself.
I mean,
for
like
your
you have the
sins and stuff like that.
flagellation, self-flagellation
That was
for
in,
centuries in Da Vinci Code.
Yeah. That's
and
I tried to read the Da Vinci Code. I think I got like a chapter or two in. I got bored of it and just watched the movie.
What's commonly said about Dan Brown is that the man has great stories. He's a good storyteller, but he's not a good writer. Like,
and I do remember that was the only thing I remember, because that's like the first chapter, isn't it? Your man whipping himself.
yeah, Silas, and he has the I don't know what they call it at the top of his leg, but he has like the barbed wire kind of garter that he keeps tightening and tightening.
You'd see it a lot as well when we were watching Vikings back in the day, the English. With,
Oh,
remember,
yeah,
Mo
yeah.
Dumfries' character. I'm
Mhm.
sure he had a scene where he used to go into his room and whip his back and stuff like that.
Yeah. Not Athelstan.
Aethelwulf.
Aethelwulf.
Yeah.
The monk?
No, that was Athelstan.
Athelstan. He did it at one stage.
Mo Dumfries' character.
Yeah, but the Athelstan, the monk, he used to do it as well, as far as I can remember, on the TV show.
So fucking
Mhm.
stupid.
So the first Magdalene institution was founded in late 1758 in Whitechapel in England, and a similar institution was established in Ireland by 1767.
Okay.
Mm.
So you could get shipped off to one of these places for absolutely fucking any reason, really. I mean, like,
You could look at a man sideways and they'd be like, "Slut."
but this is the one that fucks me up the most. It's almost similar to the honor killings that go on with other religions, you know, where it wasn't just if you got pregnant. It wasn't just if you were, as they would say, whoring around town or whatever. If you were raped and they thought it was going to cause an uproar, scandal for the family, you were the one to be knocked out. You were the one to go, because they didn't have forensics back then. There was no DNA. You couldn't prove it. No one was on your side.
Sometimes the thought behind it was as well, what did you do to put out for it? Like, so obviously there's something wrong with you.
Were you showing some ankle again, you fucking slut? Huh?
Yeah.
Put on your socks.
Dancing
for
too
fuck's
lively.
sake. But that's it. And if you were like, and we saw this, we watched the documentary about this, and it was. There was one woman who was like assaulted by her cousin, sexually raped by her cousin.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to fucking blame the cousin, so she was the one shipped off. And I mean, I'm pretty sure she was the one that never married. And she was like, I will never marry. I never married and I never will marry, because I don't want to be under anybody's control ever again. Like, you know?
But the same thought is there now. I was only telling you about
for all four of those women that were talking on that documentary. They're like, their relationships, their marriages, they were breaking up because they couldn't handle sexual contact, like, you know.
But the same thought is there now, because I literally was just telling you about the Belgium student, the gynecology student that is after getting like a suspended sentence, no jail time. He raped a woman, and the court basically said that him serving time would ruin his career as a gynecologist.
No, you raping a woman.
You should not be allowed anywhere near those in a professional capacity. Like,
it should be similar to when a paedophile gets out of jail and they're like, you can't go within so many feet of a school. You can't live within so many distance. It should be you raped a woman, you're not allowed within like 50 foot of a vagina. Just stay where you are.
Definitely
Do
not when it comes to
house.
vaginal health.
You are not allowed. Any pantsless woman that is in your area, you're getting arrested. End of discussion. She needs to have at least the panties on, buddy. You know, at least. Or you're not allowed in the room. Not even allowed watching on TV. You see a sex scene on TV, get up and leave the room. Yes. Change the channel. You've lost your vagina privileges.
Nice. So, these institutions then, they were run by various religious orders, primarily Catholic, and operated for profit businesses, primarily laundries and needlework, with women and girls forced to work without wages.
So they were making good money. Oh, well, yeah, I suppose you see that in the Magdalene sisters.
Mm-hmm.
The nun constantly fucking taking the money and putting it away. And then when she loses the key to the safe and she's losing her fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'm laughing my ass. The only thing that annoyed me about that movie, right, is we're so used to watching horror movies that by the time we got to the end of the movie, I was on the edge of my seat. Literally, and Amy will tell you, on the edge of my seat, and you had seen it before and I hadn't, and I was like, is she gonna kill the nun? She's gonna crack the nun over the head with that, because she was running around with a barrel.
I like what
kill the nun
way better. I thought it was, as in, like, you know, it was kind of, it was very Irish what happened at the end of it, the way she came running. Do you know?
Yeah, but it just felt anticlimactic to me, because I was used to the bad guys usually getting killed by the final girls at the end, and here are the final girls leaving, and the bad guys are getting away with it.
I know.
Do you know? And it was like, fuck! Because I said it to you, I was like, if this was me in that era, I would have waited until the nuns were asleep, and I would have went room to room and stabbed each fucking one of them.
Nice.
Well, the treatment they were doing,
it was awful. It was awful. And even
And
when they showed that poor woman that died, like, she spent like pretty much all her life in the laundry, and she was there, not one of them sat with her like while she was dying. Like,
but I mean, outside that, they're talking here about working conditions. You're essentially worked until you fall over, until you fucking get sick and die. I mean, like I said, the heat in there is unbearable. You can't, there's no talking.
Mm-mm.
You can't
Work in silence.
you can't have any relationships with the other girls.
Mm.
The even the daily routines and stuff like that, where you see them like having to get changed and stuff like, you were telling me, you were explaining that to me, where you're not even supposed to see your own naked body, let alone anybody else's naked body. So they'd get changed, kind of like you would if you were
at
like
the beach,
like at the beach or in public, where you're trying to hide, like trying to take off your fucking, or trying
you
to
have your
pants,
nightdress on over, you don't put your arms in, and you take off all the clothes underneath, and then you slip your arms into
yeah. But then every now and again, some of the mean nuns would line them up, strip them down, and start to like basically fucking
humiliate
them
and
and
like,
humiliate them. Oh, she's got the biggest boob, she's got the smallest boob, she's got the hairiest vagina, she's got the least hairiest, she's the fattest, she's not, you know, and treating them like meat.
Yeah.
So lining them up and treating them like meat, and getting off on it too, on top of it, which is fucking worse. It's like, disgusting. You know? Well, it's not worse. It's just as bad. Either way.
I mean, like, they faced severe psychological and physical abuse, including forced labor. They were isolated from their families and society, and to be honest, just an overall lack of basic human rights.
Well, again, one of the documentary is called "Sex in a Cold Climate," and that was from 1996, I think.
Yes, yeah,
or 97. It must have been after the last one closed. It
Mm.
was the 90s.
It was an English documentary,
Channel 4 documentary.
Yeah.
And one of the women was saying, just when you were saying that they were kept away, like from society, one of the women broke out and did a runner and ran to her friend's house, because she knew if she went to her parents' house, she would have been brought right the fuck back, because the parents are the ones that put you there to begin with. And she goes to the friend's house, and the friend was just like, "Where have you been? Been on holidays? You've been working somewhere?" It's like, "No, they've had me locked up in the fucking place above." And it's like nobody knew what was going on inside in the fucking building, like, you know. But that woman then, out of fear, left and went up north to become a nurse and work up there, and left her child behind that they'd taken off her to begin with. And she didn't see her. She still hadn't seen her child up until a couple of months before she died.
Yeah.
Her newer kids went out of their way to find the child who was adopted out. Was it in Ireland or America?
I think it was America that they were adopted.
And they found the kid, and they managed to reunite her, but I think it was a few months before her death or something like that.
It was sad.
But she was so broke up on the fucking documentary. You know, whole thing had her.
You hold on to that. You never get over.
But what
that
fucked
child,
me up was that same woman who had been so badly fucked over.
Had the cross
hanging right behind her. Do you know? No, there was another woman there, and she was like, "Yeah, fuck them. I haven't stepped in a church since, and I won't force it on my kids and all this kind of thing."
Just to go back there, what you were saying about the parents, it wasn't always the parents. I know of a family, and this is going back to the start, maybe the 20s, 30s, where the parents They didn't commit, but the priest basically came to the house and said, "Oh, I know she's pregnant, so we're going to take her." Now the woman, the mother, basically that would have been the grandmother of the child, like she was ahead of her time, like, and she was like, "No fucking way," and ran them. So it wasn't if the priest parish priest got word of it, like he.
Yeah, but you could tell him to go get fucked.
You could tell him to go get fucked. Yeah,
So, I mean,
exactly.
just do that. But I mean, what was more fucked up then as well was they'd bring these young pregnant women in. The women would have the baby, and then they'd take the baby off them, and the baby be separated from them. And in some cases, the baby be put into
kind of a nursery,
a children's
like,
home that might be near the Magdalene Laundries, but they still wouldn't be allowed to have any contact with their actual birth parents. And in most cases, they were illegally adopted out. They'd rather, if they wanted to do it legally, they'd kind of pressure you into signing an adoption paper.
Lose the paperwork.
Or the paperwork would get lost, and the babies would end up over in America with a family over in America, good Catholic family in America.
And a lot of these women did track down their kids, like they did manage to track them down. But as you said, the woman that we saw in the documentary only had a few months, whereas some of these mothers were finding their kids, but finding that they had died like a few years ago. They'd lived their lives already. They've gotten a few decades, and it's just so fucked up. Like,
and then on top of it, if they couldn't adopt you out, you probably ended up in a baby grave.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of going to end up being one of our main subjects today when we get to that later.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about what happened in Tuam, County Galway? And this isn't the only one they found. We talked about more than one here, but this was
is
the
particularly
big
shocking.
That came out not that long ago. Well, it came out, then it went back in, and then it came out again.
So between 1925 and 1961 in Tuam, a town in County Galway, the Bon Secours sisters ran The Home, which was an institution where thousands of unmarried pregnant women gave birth. And previously, it had been a workhouse and military barracks.
You were kind of like, in this home in particular, they brought you in, you were only supposed to kind of do a 1 year kind of penance thing. You'd be separated from your child, the adoption without consent, and then you were brought here and you did a year of hard labor and they released you again. Yeah. And then if you were a repeat offender, you'd move on to the Magdalene asylums afterwards. Oh, yeah. If you had sex more than once, you were going to the asylums. Jesus Christ. It's fucking mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, again, we've talked about this. I don't know, was it on a live action tomorrow? But we were talking about religion. And I was, the whole thing just fucking baffles me, to be honest with you. I understand what they're saying. Like, some of those women in that documentary are saying, okay, we didn't have contraceptive back then. It just wasn't as big a thing in our generation because it's, the early 1900s, fucking 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
And it was illegal here anyway. So obviously religion was kind of used to scare you into staying celibate and to try and control, basically stop you from becoming, having multiple baby daddies. But at the same time, where, you're teaching people to be ashamed of this, but it's the way that our species survives. Do you know? How does humanity move forward if you are constantly telling us we're not supposed to have fucking sex? And I know their attitude is, well, if you're going to have a baby out of it, go do it. But it's like, you got to practice first, man. I mean, how are you going to know what to do?
Yep.
Do you know?
I guess so. How do you know you want to stay with that person for the rest of your life? What if it's terrible?
But that's it. And that is an important part. No matter what people say, if you're not sexually compatible, then your relationship's probably not going to be great either.
And I mean, that's something that one of the women on the documentary alluded to as well, that this man was the love of her life and he loved her, but the Magdalene Laundries fucked her up so bad she couldn't have a normal sexual relationship with somebody, and she said that's what ruined the marriage. And it wasn't him. He was very patient with her.
She said that. They tried. But
yeah.
And on that side, I suppose the Catholics actually what they did worked. Because
this woman had her babies.
Those women,
but they just,
all of those women, most of those bar one, was able to have children. But that was it. That's as far as sexual contact went. They had sex to have kids, and even then they felt disgusting doing it. They felt
ashamed of themselves.
And then, fucking really, the most natural thing in the world, everything does it. Animals, us, everything. I've seen 2 flies fucking walking around the place riding, and we're being taught that it's like this terrible, awful fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I go back to the same argument I give every fucking Christian. If God didn't want us to do it, why the fuck do you make it feel so good?
But why are we the only animal that went apart from dolphins?
Because he wants us to fuck even more. He wants us to do it more than everybody else.
And the dolphins?
Oh, yeah. we need the dolphins. They're smart. They're intelligent. We need more dolphins. So let them do their thing, man.
Yeah, dolphin power.
Never seen fish. That's one thing I've never seen. I've never seen fish have sex. I always just thought they did the whole laying of the eggs. And
they do, but dolphins aren't fish, so they probably do it like we do.
I can't picture that.
Dolphins, I'm pretty sure they have like
a
penis.
I just can't picture.
Other fish don't. I mean, other fish like, well, I presume floating along like missionary.
So can dolphins 69? No way.
No, because their heads, they don't, their heads are
the
pretty.
Blowholes? Right into the
vagina. Anyway, a 1947 report by an official inspector who visited the home says of the children that were suffering from malnutrition, and about 12 out of 31 infants examined were described as being emaciated and not thriving. It also says that the home was overcrowded with 271 children and 61 mothers living there. Death rates were extraordinarily high. 34% of children died in the home in 1943, 25% in 1944, 23% died in 1945, and 27% died in 1946.
Just saying, I looked it up. It is mostly missionary, but they are alluding to doggy style here a few times. The pictures show them in missionary position, but in a few cases, one dolphin is sneaking up behind the other one.
Dolphins are known for that, though. The report states the death rate among infants is high. The death rate had appeared to be on the decrease.
Happy. Oh no, that's a girl. And she looks very happy. They're not having sex. It's just their heads poking out of water. But the way it's shaped, it does look like it. Sorry, we're talking about a very serious subject here. Back to it. Sorry. Okay, go for it.
The report states the death rate among infants is high. The death rate had appeared to be on the decrease, but has now begun to rise again. It is time to inquire into the possible cause before the death rate mounts higher. The report went on to say the care given to infants in the home is good. The sisters are careful and attentive, and diets are excellent. It is not here that we must look for the cause of the death rate.
Right, now that I realise what we're actually talking, I probably shouldn't have been looking at dolphins having sex.
No.
Sorry, my bad. This keeps happening to me, man. I start making jokes and it turns out we're talking about something extremely fucking serious. This is very serious, and whoever did that report is shit at their job.
It was probably... Things were probably swept under when the report was done.
Like when the inspector comes to school and the teacher told you like that.
Oh, those posters have been up for months. They've always been here. Kids, back me up. Yeah.
Well, I was laughing at that. Riley came home one day and he was like, the inspector was in school. Teacher gave us a whole list of lies to tell him before they got there.
Not bad lies. It's a good school.
Little thing.
But I mean, like, the same happened when we were in primary school. You got to tell the inspector this, you don't do that.
It was called the Kigara.
The Kigara, yeah.
The Irish thing. Kigara is inspector in Irish.
An inspection 2 years later in 1949 conducted by inspectors from the Galway County Council reported everything in the home is in good order and congratulated the Bon Secours sisters on the excellent condition of their institution.
Good job, sisters.
The Bon Secours mother and baby home closed in 1961 and most of the occupants were sent to similar institutions such as Sean Ross Abbey in Rosscray. The building lay mostly disused until its demolition even in 1972, and a new housing estate was built on the site. I wouldn't fancy living in the housing estate.
No. And that was 72. And then they found the bodies in 1975 and they covered them back up again.
Yep.
So in 1975, 2 boys aged 10 and 12 were playing at the site of the former mother and baby home. They found a hole or chamber filled to the brim with children's skeletons underneath a concrete slab. One of them later said he had seen about 20 skeletons. The slab was believed by some to have covered the former home's septic tank. Now, either way the fucking way, there shouldn't be bodies inside the septic tank.
No.
If you are pooping so fucking hard that your skeleton comes out, you're pooping.
There's a problem here.
That That's not supposed to come out of you. Anyway, locals speculated that these were the remains of victims of the Great Famine, unbaptized babies or stillborn babies from the home. Kind of right, I suppose. Would they have baptized those babies before they put them in there?
If they were stillborn, no. They could have died before baptism. I suppose it would depend on how fast they get them baptized after they were born. I know back then you were baptized pretty fucking fast after you were born.
Anyway, either way, they did the typical Irish thing. The number of babies was unknown at the time, but it was assumed to be small. And in typical Irish fashion, they resealed it up and was like, sure, it's not in there.
No.
None of our baby.
So
they said a few prayers on the site. And for the next 35 years, the burial site was tended to by a local couple who also built a small grotto there. So at least they had a grotto there. That's a marker for the poor babies.
It's a fucking slap in the fucking face. Like, it is, though. I mean, to cover it up and put a grotto there, like, it's just...
What's worse is, like, the Catholic Church would have known what was under there. Whatever about the people there, fine. I can get that, how you'd be like, probably from the famine. You know, no. Why they would have... How would they end up in a septic tank?
Well...
They wouldn't have had septic tanks in the famine era if they were buried there.
So if this workhouse... I mean, this was a workhouse beforehand. Workhouses would have been going like the mid-1800s, like. So, I mean...
Would they have had septic tanks back then?
Well,
or
the
outhouses?
poop had to go somewhere.
Yeah, outhouses, isn't it?
Yeah, but where's the poop going from the outhouses?
I doubt it was going into sewerage, was it?
When were septic tanks invented?
Well, that's a good fucking question, Amy.
I know, yeah.
Because I always thought they just like wasn't that one of the problems with like the fucking Black Death and stuff like that, was people usually just threw their shit and piss out into the street?
No, Black Death was fleas. But like there'd be dysentery and stuff. No, it didn't help. It didn't help.
Because it was really mucky time, wasn't it?
So as we know them, they were first developed in the late 19th century.
So not the famine.
Not the famine. Now, it says as we know them. So I don't know what kind of septic tank, if it's like the septic tank that we'd have like in our houses, or if it was just like maybe like a waterway basically going into this massive pit or something. I don't know what old septic tanks look like.
Yeah. You don't want to go swimming in that.
And I mean, like, if you go, archaeologists spend their whole lives specializing in just poop, some archaeologists. But like, I mean, like even like castle systems, it just dropped into like this massive like pit basically. Like, so...
I was about to say, and I got kind of discouraged when I realized that. I was about to say, what kind of child would think to themselves as a child, I want to work with poop for a living? Then I realized our youngest son, Fionn, he'd laugh his ass off every day and think it was the best job ever.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
In 2012, local historian Catherine Corliss published an article about the home in the annual journal of the Old Tuam Society. At that stage, she did not have the names of all the children who had died there. In 2013, Anne Glennon, a public servant at the Galway Health Service Executive Register for Births, Deaths and Marriages, at Corliss's request and expense, retrieved the name of the 796 children who had death certificates listing the Tuam home or the Tuam Children's Home as place of death. Most of the children were infants and had died at the home during its years of operation, 1925 to 1961. Corliss studied the state death certificates and found that they listed a range of ailments such as tuberculosis, convulsions, measles, whooping cough, malnutrition, and influenza.
So basically not being cared for.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, TB was a massive thing. I mean, like...
Yeah, but malnutrition can be handled.
Well, yeah, malnutrition can be handled. And what's worse was they used to, I think we say it here, but they used to get grants from the county council, like, to keep these people, like, to keep the babies and keep... Yeah, but I mean, like... But what was actually being spent on food and stuff like that did not match what they were... As in, like, it was under it, like, you know, like they were pocketing, like, most of that money.
Well, the Pope needs his...
Gold throne?
Yeah. Golden toilet paper. And golden everything, and his big funny hat. Mm-hmm. And he needs somebody to wash his big funny hat and his big funny clothes. And who better than, you know,
starch his collars.
Pregnant fucking women.
Yep.
Prepare them for being a wife in the future.
That would turn me off, being a wife in the future.
Oh, good old Irish fucking.
Yeah, I'd have never gotten married. She then cross-referenced the names with those in local graveyards and found that only 2 had been buried in any of them.
So out of 700 and something,
96.
2 of them got a regular burial.
Two of them.
The rest of them went in the septic tank.
Basically, yeah. Her research led her to conclude that the only possible location for the bodies was the site where the skeletons were found in 1975. Maps showed that this was the site of the home septic tank. Corliss believed that some of the skeletons found are inside the septic tank. This common burial ground was unmarked and not registered with the authorities, so there was no records kept of any burials there. International media outlets and other commentators described the sites as a mass grave, which it was. It was a mass grave.
How did they get him into the septic tank?
With the stone slab. I presume that stone slab, if it could be moved, well then, yeah.
Well, I just thought it might bring a little levity to it if we were flushing things down the toilet. No, there's no levity to this.
No, there's no.
Move on.
Corliss's conclusions were supported by some local residents who recalled seeing nuns and workmen apparently burying the remains there late in the evening. In 2010, the bodies of 222 infants from Bethany Home, another maternity home, were found in a mass unmarked grave in Dublin.
So does that make what? Close to 1,000 babies?
Close to 1,000. 796 and 222 is just over 1,000.
Found
bodies.
So, I'm sure if they went to all the other
they went to Sean Ross Abbey, they'd find, yeah.
But then how many of those homes are still standing and how many have been fucking
Ross Gray is still there as far as I know, isn't it?
Right, get your fucking shovel, let's go. Unsolve a mystery here.
They should go back through the records.
Direct me to the septic tank.
In April 2014, Corliss's research into Tuam was published during the dedication of a memorial to the 222 dead children at the Bethany home. Corliss is campaigning for a similar grave marker to be placed at the Tuam site. Numerous news reports alleging the existence of a mass grave containing 800 babies in a septic tank based on Corliss's work were published, first by journalist Alison O'Reilly in the Irish Mail on Sunday and later by international media outlets in late May, early June 2014. The story sparked outrage in Ireland and internationally.
Yeah, keep going to church.
Yep.
Keep filling up those collection plates, people.
The Irish government came under pressure to launch an investigation. They shouldn't have waited to be under pressure to launch a fucking investigation. The government called the allegations deeply disturbing and ordered the police to begin a preliminary investigation with the aim of launching the inquiry. And after this, the Bon Secours nuns, they came out and said that they had failed in their Christianly charity and duty and all that. But it was such a fucking understatement of the fucking century by them. It was like...
Well, it's better than what they said originally. Because originally wasn't their attitude of, well, you keep fucking dropping your shit at our door. What do you expect us to do with it?
Yeah,
we're the ones that have to deal with all your fucking mistakes. So what the fuck do you want us to do about it? This is how we're dealing with it. If you think you can do a better job, go ahead. And it's like,
you could have done a better job. You bring the normal lay person in, and then people not non-religious, but actual the normal person in, like nurses. These women weren't even allowed to be at fucking birth. They had no place. Be taking care of newborns, taking care of women that were about to give birth when they weren't even allowed to help give birth. Like, do you know that kind of way? It's.
Well, I would say, and I've always held this thought. No, and I know it's fine for me to say because I don't give a shit about them either fucking way. But you shouldn't be taking marital advice, relationship advice, and child rearing advices from people who have decided that they're never, ever, ever going to take part in any of those three things. Bride of Christ or fucking not. Jesus isn't dropping babies in your fucking lap, and Jesus isn't fucking there every day with you, despite what you think. He's not there fucking living life with you. You're not a bride of Christ, and if you are, he's cheating on you with hundreds of other brides.
Yeah.
Jesus
actually,
might as well be a Mormon.
But I don't know for sure because we're not getting married in the Catholic Church. But when you have to do your course, is that taught to you by a priest?
Yep. I don't know, but
because
when we get to go
taught by a priest, I don't. That to me is fucking crazy. Like, why are you going to a course to know how to get through married life? Taught by a man that is never going to be married, who doesn't know the trials and tribulations. Yeah, he might hear them from members of the parish, but he's never experienced them firsthand.
But I said the exact same thing when we had to do it for the baptism.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
I went in there high as fuck. I mean, I was out of it, and everybody in the room knew it.
When they
Even the
got
other guy, the
you
young guy next to me, was laughing. I was so out of it.
But I
like.
mean, like, there was one stage we had to pass around the candle or something. You just go to the other side of the room.
And you had to fucking put the sign of the cross on him.
Next thing it came to your turn, you're like, and you stood up across the room. I was like, shit, our child's not getting baptized.
Oh, fuck them, man. I just had no interest. I just didn't want to be there. I didn't want this guy teaching me about something he knew nothing about.
But so fucked up about it? If we hadn't gotten our children baptized, it's the superstition that still surrounds it. So do you know what I mean? Like, I know that, say, from my side in particular, there's still that kind of thing. Like, if anything happens, will we see them again if they're not baptized?
Yeah, sure. They've got a tear in the oak with me.
I know, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, just for, you know, like the older generation, like that superstition is still with them because of like the hold the Catholic Church had in them that if something happened to the kids before they were baptized, are we going to see them again in the next life? Like,
yeah, I get that. But I get it because of what they're being brought up in and the kind of superstition around. Like I said, religion had a lot more effect back then, and then you could see it. It was kind of similar to the way Islamic people are now. They're still very, or Orthodox Jewish people. They're very, you know, on the button, follow the rules. Like, and I think Catholics were the same at the time. And when you're being brought up in that kind of surrounding and you don't have access to information like we have now, where you don't get to go out and do your own independent thinking, you don't go out to do your own independent research because the facilities aren't there for you. You're being brought up in this culture, you learn from this culture, and you just get on with things. Yeah. I mean, we were brought up in the Catholic culture, and we just got the fuck on with it and just accepted that this was what you did. These were the steps you had to take, you know, and that was it. Now, fine, we're saying all this kind of expose happened over the years, but we did come across a video from 1960, the 1960s. And no, it's allegedly been debunked a few times. But it's also kind of seen, that to the people who debunked it, they see it as a manner of somebody trying to be a whistleblower without being a whistleblower. So if this is real, it's scary because there's ghosts and shit involved. Yeah. If this isn't real, well, then it was a really good way to try and get this information out there without getting themselves in trouble, I suppose, or ostracizing yourself from the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church had so much power at that point. Yeah. Do you know? Absolutely. So we're going to do something new today, something different, something we haven't done before. Yep. So while we know this story is often debunked, we're going to cover it like we would any other case and look at the evidence we have, which isn't much, just an old video reel from the 60s and the modern knowledge of what happened within the asylum walls for all that time.
And the buildings that house the laundries definitely meet all the necessary criteria for a good haunting. Trauma, abuse, murder, lies. I mean, I can definitely see a few kids wandering around the halls looking for their mammies.
So we've covered the laundry background. So I suppose the best way to do this next bit is to just follow the footage and see what we got here, because there's fuck all information about the priests involved here or anyone that appears in the footage. No birth certs, death certs, priest registry, nothing. All we have is this video. So that kind of even makes it more kind of compelling and more kind of mysterious. And I'm just curious. We've seen this kind of bits and pieces of this already. So we kind of know what we're getting into here. But we'll let you know before we start, because we're going to go off camera now for a minute and set up. And when we come back, we'll be ready to watch this. And we'll put it in the description where to find this video so you can watch it along with us, hopefully. Yeah. And we can all watch it together and see what spooky shit happens. Yes. So,
We've got our hands on it now. So let's stick it on and see what we got.
Cool. So we're back. And whereas I'm taking this as a serious investigation and I'm going to be doing proper journalistic work here, Amy apparently has had a costume change.
I need to get comfortable to watch TV.
It's not TV. This is research. This is hard-hitting evidence.
On our fucking TV. Thank you.
Popcorn and all, huh?
Uh-huh.
This is work, lady, not enjoy it. You do this in your own time.
I don't get my own time anymore.
And we also have an impartial judge here.
Who's going to sleep through the movie.
Help us decide whether this is fact or fiction.
Yes.
Now, we're going to watch it, and this is going to be the hardest part, right? Because usually we wear our headphones, but it's usually for, like, you know, playback. Like if we need to like listen to something back or if we need to line stuff up and shit. So we're going to have to listen to this through our headphones and talk at the same time. We hate doing that. I know people like usually monitor their fucking voice on the headphones, but anytime I can hear you talking in my headphones and talking to me right in front of me.
It throws me right off.
And then when I talk back and I can hear my voice echo right in my headphones, it's like, no, I can't do this. So we don't actually hear ourselves anything in our headphones usually, unless I put on Spotify on a different channel so you can't hear it, but I can hear it. And I'm just jamming out while we talk about serial killers.
We do this from different rooms, to be honest.
So this is going to be a test as to whether we can actually talk while something else is talking in our ear.
Probably not. We're not going to make sense.
Okay, so if you want to follow along, this footage is on the internet. If you got to go into a deep conspiracy website called Shudder, okay? So when you get into Shudder, you got to pay a fee and all to get into this information. And when you get in there, you can find this. It's called The Devil's Doorstep, isn't it? Doorway. Devil's Doorway. And yep, real documentary film about the Magdalene ghosts.
Yes.
Fuck's sake, Amy, come
Spot
on.
on.
In character.
I am in character.
All right, so no, I don't need that. I don't need that. So we are starting on the video at 2 minutes and 41 seconds in. You ready? Would help.
It feels like a cinema experience.
Let me just check here. We're all good. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yes.
And play. Oh, so straight off the bat, Mary's not happy. She's crying. Why is it always blood? Why does Mary always cry blood?
Because
except for Only Fools and Horses.
Sad about her son.
Only Fools and Horses, it was just tears because it was the rainwater, remember?
Yeah, but there's been Mary statues that have cried just water as well. Definitely.
Well, I'll say starting off, they do look like priests.
Yeah. He looks like a priest, I know. What did you say, 1960?
Yeah. How would the Vatican have afforded cameras in 1960? Surely they'd be big old things. Yeah. Oh no, I thought that until we were watching the Magdalene sisters. And didn't they have a portable fucking kind of camera there as well?
Kind of propaganda kind of nearly stuff.
Oh, you know you're in trouble when they write a letter to the bishop.
Read by
that just means trouble straight off the fucking bat, doesn't it?
Yep.
Why were they called Mother Superior?
Because they were the superiorest of all the nuns in there.
The best bride of Christ. The bottom bitch of Christ.
So do you know the way, as in, like, I suppose because you call priests father, and then their mother is...
And bottom bitch is a bit offensive for a nun.
Mm-hmm. That bonnet is a bit offensive for a nun.
Her face is fucking offensive. I can tell you straight away she is a bitch. So they're claiming that someone within the convent or the Laundries is after sending a letter out to the Vatican saying that they're basically telling them about this crying Virgin Mary, yeah?
I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from that.
And this fucking wicked witch looking old lady is telling them that they were tricked, okay?
She's not getting them that. Yeah.
Would that have been? Do you think that would have been common that they would have? But no, they were fucking. That was one of their main sources of income, wasn't it?
How do you mean?
Having the kids in the home next to them. That was their orphanage. Like they were going to make money from selling them to fucking families in America and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This fella seems weary. Like he's just been through it
sick
all.
As shit. He doesn't want to be a priest anymore by the looks of it.
if you're going to be a priest, at least you could do this shit.
Be a myth buster.
It would be a bit of fun, like, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, a bit of a thrill going country to country, checking out all these miracles and seeing what's what.
Yeah. Unless it was like the same story over and over and over.
Well, that's what this fella seems like he's going through.
That's yeah. He seems like he's convinced that it's going to be like a tube or a pipe or something, like, you know, that kind of way that he might have seen it like before.
How many priests do you think are actually fucking 100% I believe in this fate? And how many do you think are just there because they were told to be there? Or because they were gay in the wrong period of time?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to guess. I'd say it would be high.
It looks like a fucking hospital wing, doesn't it? You know, like an old school kind of dormitory, but it's the beds. Oh, there's another cunt.
It just looks like a convent, to be honest.
How many times was I grabbed by the ear? Or she was grabbed by the hair. Was it looked like the ear there for a minute?
I was never grabbed by anything when I was...
Oh yeah, when
God.
I was in like fucking junior infants and senior infants, they could still grab me by the ear. They'd grab you right there by the ear and they'd pull you to the wall or the corner. And
what year did they get to stop doing that?
I don't remember it happening to me after infants.
Christ. It never happened to me.
Worst first class, I'd say.
Or doing kind of really industrial work, like.
This priest is like a fucking private investor, like a proper cop.
Uh-huh.
Why did I think this was in the Magdalene sisters? Oh shit.
Ew. Me too. There was literally no fucking happiness. Is she bleeding? Oh no, that's just water.
It's definitely go and find it on the internet and watch this because this is interesting. I mean, it looks legit.
That sounds really Irish.
Yeah.
Oh, you have, yeah.
That's just lovely. Some neck on you, huh? You've some neck on you. She has no neck with that fucking headgear on. She looks like a penguin. She's shaped like a penguin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, this was said on other things as well that we read and looked into. This whole concept of you're just dropping your mistakes on your fuck-ups on our fucking doorstep and we gotta clean this shit up afterwards. And that was their excuse coming out of the whole Magdalene Laundries, was that, you know, we are
overwhelmed.
We're the
with
cleaners,
kinda,
like, you know, this is what we do. You fucking bring it to us and we'll get rid of it. Priest being a paedophile, we'll take care of it. Priest fucks a girl and fucking gets her pregnant, we'll take care of the girl and the baby. You know,
take care.
That's it.
Christ.
See? Right there.
Father to her father's father.
What's that? Oh, look at that. Look at the camera. She's a fucking...
Lording it about the place. Is that what you're saying?
But I mean, like, what was he lording around the place? That he was a priest? That's something to be proud of.
I thought lording it around the place meant that you were going sleeping around.
I thought lording around the place would be kind of like, you know, peacocking it. Walking around like you're the cock of the walk.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the young...
Whatever about being a priest. How do you decide at that age you're going to give up everything for the priest?
Because you're the second born in Ireland, second born son, and they're like, first gets the farm, second gets the church.
Always the second. I thought it was. Sure, wasn't your dad like the last born? They were going to send him there.
Second born son.
Oh. The kid's fucking laughing.
Oh my God. For some reason there, I thought he was just having memories. No, but it is kids.
Right, something's going on here. So this...
Where is he? His own room? His own room, yeah.
Looks like a bedroom, yeah. Okay, there was nothing. This reminds me a lot of the home footage we saw when we were covering the ghost Asmodeus. Do you remember the couple that had to go to the house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That paranormal activity going on.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a lot like that footage, you know, fucking 60s version retro.
It's very square. You can tell by the shape of it that it's 60s.
All right, talking about the devil there for a minute. But he's basically saying that it's
everything's bullshit.
Just like a magician, basically.
Uh-huh.
I agree with what he's saying there, right?
Yeah.
99% of what's considered paranormal or miracles are man-made bullshit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know, a lot of people do. Like a lot of the part that religion plays in humanity is to try and kind of outside of control people. It gives you comfort.
Yeah.
That this isn't just it and all that.
Exactly.
There's something more to it.
Reassurance, like.
It's easier to think that it's the devil's work rather than thinking it's or God's work.
Yeah.
Than thinking it's us that did it.
Yeah.
And I always wonder that, like, when you see so much bad stuff like this out there, and stories like this out there, and you start and you meet so many stupid fucking people in everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever start wondering who outweighs who in this situation? Is there more dumb, stupid, ignorant people in the world than there are good, honest people in the world? Because a lot of the people that are running fucking countries are dumb, ignorant motherfuckers.
I don't think so. I think the ignorant are just a tiny bit louder.
I hope so.
I think that's what it is. He's searching the statue.
How would they get tubing into the statue in the 60s? I mean, like, without them making some noticeable mark on it. In the 60s, it's not like they have like micro, you know, the really, what do they call the microfiber kind of fucking...
But people used to make statues do this. Do you know? I don't know how they'd have done it. Maybe have like, maybe not like a micro one, but maybe like at the back of it have a slightly thicker one, but have it just stop short so you can put the clay over her eyes and stuff like that. But then when it fills out eventually, like it'd leak through. Do you know? So you have a cover and...
Yeah.
I don't know how much can leak through the statue stuff though, but it's in theory. Or maybe it's real.
Maybe.
That's kind of creepy.
What is?
the record's spinning really fast, the tape.
Really? I like that look.
I think it's creepy. I think it's creepy in the context of what we're watching.
Yeah, I suppose so. Creepy if they sped it up.
So fast it looked like it wasn't moving.
It's that kind of... I love that kind of thing, though, Joe. When you're staring at it...
You can make it go the other way.
Oh, yeah. It can go either way.
If you really
I
think
just
about it,
did
you'll be
it
able to
again.
change direction. Oh, hang on. Are we the agency?
let's
And they're
place a
playing
bet.
it
Which way is it?
forward.
Which way is it going? You pick one way, I will. Which way when this stops? Which way is it going? Will it slow down? Will we see it slow down? I think it's spinning.
I think it was spinning that way. What's that way? Clockwise.
Clockwise, yeah. That's never a good idea, buddy. If you want to see a ghost or a serial killer or a monster, that's the way to do it right there.
He only saw a statue. Do you think it's going to look at him?
Sounds again.
That's him breathing.
No, can you not hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who's this? See, those marionette puppets are always creepy, Amy. I don't give a shit what the context is.
But at least it's not being played with by itself. You know, there's
There's a
Is that
little
a
girl
kid?
singing in a weird echo in a white fucking dress.
But there's no kids there.
Which would make me worry all the more. Oh, yeah, I was right. Bye-bye, kitty.
No kid.
But the puppet remains. They're creepier when they don't have a proper face as well, aren't they?
Woo.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? That looked like a little Nathan explosion. In corpse paint.
That was creepy. The puppet looked like it was wearing one of those tinfoil helmets to keep the aliens out.
It's the blank face creeps me out.
Uh-huh.
So it's the same with Robert. It's just that blank look in his face. Is he hearing shit again?
I thought I saw a shadow on the door.
Oh yeah, I can hear him. I mean, for footage of Paranormal Activity, it's a long one. It's an hour and 15 minutes of footage, like 16 minutes of footage. I don't know.
16, I think.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That creeps me out. And I know that if that happened to me, that would creep me out.
If it kept happening over and over and over and over and over, like it's just bang, bang, bang.
I don't like that either.
No.
I would. Do you know what I'm fucking strangely terrified of? People knocking at the door in the middle of the night.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Do you know, there's often been times where I've had a smoke or something, and then we're getting ready to go to bed, and I am locking up the back door and stuff like that, and I start to get paranoid that someone's gonna, just as I turn off the back light, someone's gonna go dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, oh shit.
No, I don't like that thought. No, what's that?
It looks like your traditional
Ghost?
sheet over the head ghost. With the glow coming off it and everything.
Was it a wall?
Oh.
Oh no, it's just a statue.
Oh, it is just a fucking statue. Fuck me. That's a letdown. Wait.
No, that's
Oh,
close.
what the fuck is that? See, that echo is weird. You know the child isn't really there. I don't know what you're looking for. You can hear the echo in it.
Did I just say his name? What's his name? Father what?
I can't remember. You'll have to check on your phone because my phone's doing the recording.
Have a look now.
Oh, how'd that get there? See? Blank face.
Oh, it's a hat. It's got a nose though.
What was that?
That's what I'm saying.
Was it
His
father?
father's something, yeah. They've said it already. I'd be getting a hotel for the night.
See? That.
No, I don't like that.
Creeps
I
the
don't
shit
like
on
that.
me. Can you imagine, even on the window, someone tapping on the window at like 3 a.m?
Is that a massive spider on his wall?
What?
If he shows it again, I'm pretty sure he's got a spider.
No,
Oh,
that's fucking 2 bloody hands.
no.
Whoa! Bitch.
I was too interested in trying to show you the spider.
I'm so used to watching movies that I thought that was his eyes when we came down with it. When he ran off, I thought it was another ghost. Whoa! There we go. You've been drinking. I feel like there's no fit.
He's just done with it.
Will you check their names? Because I want
Oh,
to stop
sorry.
calling him your man.
I could do with glasses like those.
They're cool. I like them. The little magnifying things on them.
Me too.
But to be fair, if you don't have a job that necessitates them, you look, like a big old nerd.
Maybe I like it.
But it would give you the perfect fucking, like, instant comeback against the flasher, though. If you were walking on the street wearing your glasses and a flasher jumped out and opened his jacket and was revealing it, and you just start flipping down the magnifying lenses, dude will never ever do that ever again.
That's Father Thomas. The other guy, Father John. And then, yeah.
So he's Father Thomas. Right,
Yeah.
yeah. There we go.
No.
No. Okay, I like that priest. Father Thomas seems to have his head screwed on. Straight. But
When
then
did their
again,
collars get smaller? At what point?
I don't know. But I will say this little speech he's making here would back up more the idea of this being a way for them to get a message out rather than for this to be real. Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's face it, right? The ghosts and all that was fun to watch, but it doesn't look very realistic. It's very on the nose. And if this was seen as legitimate footage, then that would be proof of fucking ghosts. There's a lot going on here for this to be real. And that guy's speech, Father Thomas's speech, is very anti-Catholic, anti-Christian.
Well, that thing just started bleeding in front of him.
Which would lead me more to believe that this is fake, that all the statues are now bleeding. I'm not against it. I like the idea of trying to get the message out there.
No.
I'm just saying I can see how it's been debunked multiple times.
No, I know.
And I would actually kind of say that the people involved with doing this are more heroic doing it if it's a fake than it is if it's a real one, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. Somebody needs to taste it, see if it's real blood.
Even though if it was real, then technically would they, and they were killed for finding out the secret, would they not technically be martyrs? Dying for their religious beliefs. Trying to get the
if they were killed just to shut them up, I don't know if you're dying for your religious beliefs.
Well,
if
you are, because you're being shut up from revealing the truth, which would be the true religion, you know, true religious fucking.
I think martyrdom is like because you won't forsake your religious
just because
beliefs.
one religion's killing. Yeah, you that's exactly what you're doing, though. If they found evidence that there was real fucking ghosts here, real devil activity here, and the Mary things or statues are crying because of the devil activity going on there, then they've proven the existence of all this stuff. And they could prove, you know, and if they were trying to be silenced to not get this out there, or to not allow the scandal of what's going on in here, or the scandal of Satan worshippers or whatever in here.
Okay.
Well, then they will be killed.
I get what you're saying now.
The higher,
yeah,
they'd have the high ground here.
Yeah.
Just because it's another Christian killing them doesn't mean they're not dying for their beliefs, because their beliefs will be right and this will be wrong.
Yes.
What are they testing for? Ooh. STIs. Appreciate. That's another a very Irish way of saying it, isn't it? Well,
Are they being tested to see if they're virgins? They're not reliable tests.
Oh. It's not that one of them's pregnant, no?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Was it blood tests they're getting?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. You can't check your virginity through a
It's
blood
to
test.
see. No, I thought they were having a look down there.
You imagine if they could do that, right? If they could check with a blood test about your virginity. Fellas in their teens, after they had sex for the first time, would be going into their doctor's office and like, I need a blood test. I want to have proof. Or when your older brother had sex, you get his verification and start going around showing all your friends like, rock the ride.
Fuck's sake. Are they testing the blood to see what blood type matches the statue?
Well, the blood, I think they said the blood coming from the statue was from a pregnant woman.
Oh, I get you. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I have a question. It's something I've always wondered.
Oh, it's her.
Do nuns have to be virgins to be nuns? Can they have lived a life and enjoying?
A lot of English queens became nuns.
So they don't have to be virgins.
Not nuns, but no. No, they don't have to be virgins, no. But they just can't do it after that. Sure, yeah. Do you remember in Married with Children? And she's like, I've decided to be a nun, so, take me this one night only, and tomorrow I'm going to the convent, but the hormone pills are after making grow boobs. And he's like, oh.
Oh, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember that, yeah. Yeah, well, that's fucking Married with Children, man.
I wonder.
That is the most common picture of her. I remember that being up with my fucking grandparents. The exact same face every time. They always get Mary's face bang on, don't they? You know the Virgin Mary when you see her in the picture.
Yeah,
Besides
definitely.
the blue thing. My nan used to have one, right? God's honest truth. They had a Virgin Mary, but her robe changed colour with the weather. Seriously. So it was like blue to purple and pink and all this stuff, depending on what the weather was like outside. So if the sun was shining, it might be blue, and then or I would assume as the sun was shining, it got more pink, and then it got blue for the thing. I can't remember, but I remember I used to be looking at it and picking it up, looking at the back to see what the color code was, and then checking her robe to see if it was right to the weather outside.
90s.
Well, my granddad had been into all those kind of gadgety shit and stuff like that. That would have been a cool thing for him, and he was religious as fuck.
Yeah.
What's good out here?
I don't know. He wants to see something, she's going to show him something.
Oh, we're going to the psych unit.
Nice.
The 1960s equivalent of a psych unit.
The holding ward.
Usually a cell.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's mank looking, isn't it?
Yeah, fucking disgusting.
See, this is what's fucked up. Why are all the crosses on the wall?
I don't know.
It's very, exorcism.
So she's
chained there, and all.
Yeah.
But this is the way they used to treat crazy people, or not crazy people with mental health.
She's
issues.
pregnant. And she's chained to a wall.
They're old school cuffs too.
Yep. Like manacles, that what you call them?
I love that, but I love watching them on TV when they're on movies when they're taking them on and off. It's almost like a little Allen key to fucking unscrew them, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing that freaks me the fuck out as well. When people start acting like there's like they can see the ghost.
No, I don't like
when kids do it in particular, it fucks me up. Like.
No.
Was it right there that Riley
Yeah,
said
Riley
one,
could see
like,
right there
there
behind me. And I was like, I couldn't look behind me
Oh,
because I
man.
was like, if it acknowledges, do you know, if I
And do you know
acknowledge
what's
it.
worse?
Yeah.
Do you know what's worse, right? From all the times we've watched Paranormal Cotton Camera, how many people have you seen doing podcasts or video vlogs or whatever? And this is the scenario where you get somebody sending you a message saying, I was watching your video, man, and something pokes its head up right behind you while you're talking.
I'm going to get sick. No.
You just wait, the handle slowly coming over.
I wouldn't want it because I've got a faint.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Put her back! Put her back! God, she is such a fucking cow.
Uh-huh.
Fucking Reverend Mother. A Reverend Mother, you.
What does that entail?
Kathleen O'Brien. She might be my cousin.
She might be. She kind of looks like you.
I do not condone violence to women, but that Mother Superior, she could do with just one.
Swift kick to the arse.
Send you together. I can't hit women, but she can.
Or that's what we could do is learn to speak ancient Greek and Duolingo, and anytime anybody pisses us off, we could just start doing it and everybody think we're possessed and just stay away from us. Mesopotamia.
This is kind of turned into an exorcism, is it?
Is that?
Well, the nuns are saying she's possessed.
No, he was asking her to pray with him, is he?
Aren't they lucky that a young priest and an old young priest and an old priest just happen to be on site, because that's what you need for every exorcism. A young priest and an old priest. What the fuck is she doing? She's doing the Bray Wyatt spider walk.
Oh no.
Oh, who's under the bed?
Was that Kit's hands?
I don't know.
Is that a TV?
Yeah, as soon as they start rocking like that, they're possessed.
That's it.
You come down in the morning, you see me like this.
Walk
Devil's
slowly
in
back
me.
out. Don't knock my balls either.
Maybe she's evil. Maybe she's bored with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Ooh.
I never understood that as a teenager either.
What?
How people, I know she didn't do that to herself, but you know how you saw people fucking with the self-harm and shit.
Yeah.
People constantly scratching. That emo kind of goth fucking thing about like scratching.
Fucking stupid, like.
I was very squeamish that way. I didn't want to hurt myself. I wasn't going to fucking, if I was angry at something, I wanted to hurt it.
Heart idiot. I get you.
Oh yeah, that's not creepy at all, lady.
She's only smiling at the camera.
In the context of things. We're in a serious
No, what was
situation.
that? Half past 8 in the morning?
3.
Oh.
The witching hour. Ron Riley was obsessed with that.
Yeah.
3 a.m. It's all going down.
He didn't like waking
I
up
gotta
at
be
3.
asleep before 3 a.m. You better be asleep before 3 a.m. You little shit.
Was that a no?
Just a nun.
She's a really rude nun.
That fella looks like he's been through the ringer.
Mm-hmm. It looks like he's not getting much sleep either.
Nope.
Stop pushing me.
Scared the priest.
See, at least we could just stick headphones in now and pretend we couldn't hear them. Right? And we could stick headphones in and pretend we couldn't hear them if it was nowadays. But back then, you're stuck with the noise. Like.
Do you not think that if a ghost really wanted to, they couldn't? If they could make noise in a room, that they couldn't make it come to your headphones? Oh. The Virgin Mary has had enough.
Yeah.
This is not what my son wanted you to build. I'm out of here.
Ah. Oh, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around.
I
That has no arms. Does it have arms?
think so.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
It's the opposite to a weeping angel. Would you follow it?
Fuck no. Would you follow it?
Maybe. What are you doing? Chill out, buddy.
He's trying to push me off the couch. He hates me. He loves his mommy. Yeah.
You see, I would eventually stop going down the stairs as it got creepier. But initially, I would have followed the child to see was it okay.
But once it disappeared, I'd be like, I don't know about this. Where's it gone?
Behind that creepy
No.
fucking door.
I'm just going to keep my eyes closed. Okay, we should go down there.
Maybe.
Is that one of those
I
like,
wouldn't be
dungeon
going out
doors
one
on
of
the
those
bottom?
ones.
No. Look at that shit. Is that like a dungeon door? Like one of those kind of like oubliette kind of coverings.
Please help me. The nuns have been keeping me down here as a sex slave for years.
Ew. Why don't you go in there? No. Bye-bye.
That's the glory hole.
So that's a yes.
See, I'm the kind of kid, right,
Mm.
back then, that if I was like investigating around there and I found this room, I wouldn't be creeped out by this room. I'd be like, hey,
This
do
would
you
be
know
my
this
room now,
wasn't
and I
down
would be
here. I
cleaning.
want this to be a
Yeah.
bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
I used to watch TV shows where they'd have like, you know, attic bedrooms or basement bedrooms.
I was literally just
And I
thinking
was
of the
like,
attic bedrooms.
I wanted the basement bedroom. I always wanted a basement.
I wouldn't be able to go
There
without a
was
window.
a difference between a creepy basement and a
No,
basement
I need a
room.
window.
That
I need a
was
light
sort of
source.
the
Not
way
enough
to
of
see.
a light source for me. I
I would have been
having a
fine
window.
with that. Wouldn't have bothered me in the least.
Uh-uh.
Have all that space to myself.
Mm-mm. They need to get me vitamin D lamps.
Well, you change fairly fast.
Yeah, I can imagine there's more than a few layers there, like.
Oh, he's going to show her the satanic temple. The priests seem very legit, but the whole setup seems like it's too much to
That
be real.
he was legit, but brought into a fake scene.
No, I mean, like, they're very good actors. And it would make you believe that what's going on is really going on, but there is so much going on that it just seems a bit unrealistic to me to be out there and not to be a bigger deal.
Yeah. No, I get you.
But like I say, the fact that it maybe highlighted what was going on in these things, using this as a metaphor, you know, the hauntings and possessions as a metaphor at my age.
Yeah.
That's the right word, right? I don't know.
No, not as a metaphor, as
What is
a
that?
vehicle to shed light on it.
Exactly. Some good English in right there.
You just say some good Englishing.
The king will be proud.
That he would.
All sausage fingers.
He good Englishes too.
Oh, they brought in the doctor. Who has higher authority here, the priest or the doctor in this era?
The priest, I'd say. Or the doctor. I don't know. It depends on what you're talking about and the sex of the patient, I presume.
Is this the second coming? It's not the second coming, because we would have all been dead in the 60s. See, again, seems like a hat and a hat and a hat and a hat and a hat if it was real.
How do you mean?
Immaculate Conception on top of everything to kind of tell it. Just, if this was a legitimate thing, then you'd have to assume they downplay the dramatics of the story.
The Immaculate Conception was Mary. No, it was Mary. Was Mary being born without sin in her soul. That's what the Immaculate Conception
I
is.
thought it was her having.
That's what the Immaculate. She didn't have sin in her soul, but then there's another name on her having the Son of God, like without having sex.
Ridiculous.
That too.
Right, I'll tell you who's fucking in charge, won't it? Nuns. They got it.
I assume, yeah, that was why she was allowed to have the Son of God, because I presume she wouldn't be passing on any sin because she was born without sin in her soul.
What the fuck makes her so special?
God thought she was sexy.
That ass! That chick has no sin.
Oh.
And there's a lot of filler shots that will tell me.
Why? Because she's still a virgin? I think the baby can still come out like.
No, I think it's something to do with the position of the baby, or something to do with her health.
Oh.
Oh, Kathy. Hi, Father. Just a fucking royal family.
I was just thinking it.
When did we start having earthquakes in Ireland?
Oh, mine's an
The north
earthquake.
different to here?
Is that where they are in the north? Oh, she's
Oh,
moving weird.
come on, they all have northern accents. Oh, yeah. No, I don't buy this.
There has to be a hoist. Maybe the baby inside her can fly, and that's what's bringing her up. No, I'm joking.
Brightburn.
Yeah. I'll be honest. Her belly looks a bit too round. It was the first time I thought.
Is it not different for all women?
You can still turn
Because
her
some women have like
genital.
really hard bellies when they're pregnant, and some.
Yeah, but even look at, the general shape. It was got me wondering if it was real.
I could barely remember you pregnant, to be honest.
Me
You always
too.
look like this to me in my head.
Ah, thank you.
Fucking smoking.
Is she having a baby?
What's this guy doing? You're supposed to be watching the movie too. We need someone impartial here.
He's cuddled right into me.
with the head. Is it just the candles are seen as a scary thing? Because I was editing pictures for you earlier, and I noticed that every time I put in the word goth into the description for the AI
candles came up.
Yeah, so I was like trying to get a goth nightclub up for you, for the stand for your black dress pictures, and then every time I put in goth nightclub, it was just you in a nightclub scenario with random candles.
Yeah, but goth generally has like that whole like Victorian aesthetic in some part, so it's going to be before electricity.
This is metal.
You just take a shit.
I think you grabbed one of the metal cross or something.
Oh.
Double tack. My copybooks used to be covered in those upside down crosses. Pentagrams and upside down crosses.
Nice.
And sometimes a pentagram with a very badly drawn fucking goat's head in it.
What's he trying to get her to do?
Leave with him?
Oh, no,
Oh,
don't
shit.
believe that. Sorry.
And how did she set in fire, Amy? Where's the
Maybe
special effects crew?
he's not as nice as we think, and she is actually tapped in the head. And while we were only looking at his back, he was pouring a bit of lighter fluid in her hand.
Burn you, bitch. I think those long robes are cooler than the fucking
Oh,
regular police
yeah.
uniform.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, at least
They
it
should
makes
bring them
them
back.
look a bit more kind of
Authoritative?
yeah.
Also a bit creepy.
And it goes better with their silly wizard tails.
What silly wizard tales?
Turn water into wine and walk on
Oh,
water.
I thought you meant
know, the same
tails
stuff
as in
that Tails and Plain and
tails. As in
Dynamo
they
can
had
do.
wizard appendages on their backsides.
Wizards is known for having tails.
That's what I was wondering.
What's he like? Fucking 19, 20 tops? How have you lived enough life to decide that you want to go and be a priest?
I don't know. Her lips look sore though, don't
Yeah.
they? Thirsty, I wonder.
I just got a bad lip filler.
Or herpes.
Or herpes, yeah. He's got a twitch.
No, he's gonna cry. He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry.
He's breaking up with her. This isn't gonna work.
I think you're taking away the wrong message from this entire
When
thing.
someone says this isn't gonna work, they're about to break up with each other. Or they're in the process of breaking up.
Do you think he's the father?
Oh
I'm
no,
joking.
he's talking to the other priest.
Oh, knew it.
Christ. Is Greek a common one? I thought it was usually Latin that they talk when they're being all demonic.
Or Greek. They can speak Greek as well. I don't know Greek. I couldn't tell you what Greek sounds like.
Opa!
I thought you were like,
Don't they all say
oh,
that?
yeah, and throw some plates around
Yeah.
just for a bit of flavour.
And dance a bit.
Authenticism.
Racist.
Is that?
She's an orphan.
I think so. Is that coming off the TV?
What?
Just the time coming up at the bottom. I can see it.
Oh, I was just checking.
Oh. Two decades? 2 months? Can you confess to yourself as a priest?
I doubt it. You're already going to have someone impartial. I suppose you need someone to kind of...
Absolve
But
you.
I'm sure there's other priests. You're constantly around other priests, so it's not exactly a problem. Listen, I'll do your confession, you do mine, I give you like 2 Hail Marys. You give me an Our Father. We get the fuck out of this.
Nice. Oh no.
So I never knew about limbo. I always thought limbo was just purgatory.
No, limbo you go if you're unbaptized.
And purgatory is like a punishment rather than going to
Purgatory was introduced by in or around when the Borgia Pope was there. Might have been a tiny bit after, before, but basically he said that you could buy indulgence. So like, as in like, you could go, everybody would go into purgatory, but you can go and you can pay so much money to the church to shorten your time. And then according to how much money you're given, you might have been given 15 years off, you might have been given 20 years off, like 1,000-year fucking sentence or something like that. Sure, that kind of way. But it was introduced into the church in the medieval period, and it was no way, shape, or form invented by Jesus or God or whoever.
I can't remember specifically if it was, from 100% sure on this, but I was talking, when I hung out with a Muslim guy when I was a kid, I had a friend who was Muslim, and we used to talk about these things. I think it was him that told me that when he was saying that when they die, that they have to rewatch their life from start to finish, and depending how good and honourable a life they lived was how fast or slow that would take. So if you were a good person and led a good life, it would be over in a blink of an eye. You'd watch it in a blink of an eye and go to heaven. Or if you were a bad person, it would stretch and go on forever and ever and ever for years and years. You're going throw time until you've served your sentence that way. So I suppose purgatory maybe.
Could be, yeah.
No, again, that was 2 teenagers talking to each other 20 years ago, so I don't know if that's something I can remember right or wrong, or if it was that religion or something else I spoke about. See? Sold the babies. She doesn't give a fuck.
No, nothing is fucking phasing her. It's a preeclampsia.
What? Okay, 2 seconds. We need to have an intermission here for a second.
Okay. Cheers.
Okay, we are back and go. She's having her baby. It's not the ideal way to be
Having
being chained up. I don't know. I haven't had one.
That's the way convicts give birth to.
Do you think you'd be able to have?
What, being chained up and giving birth? No, I'd be extremely angry. I get angry when I'm having a baby.
You did. Do you know though? It's funny because you didn't get angry with me while you're having a baby.
No, I remember getting angry at other people around me.
Yeah, you never actually gave me shit. It wasn't like in the movies where they're like, "You did this to me." You know?
The fuck?
See, that song, not like the definition of fucking why these people are terrible people.
Yeah.
They believe that this pain is you suffering for your love of
your child, like it. Does it hurt? Is it supposed to hurt? Because sex kind of is. I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, that's some blood. What?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. It didn't make sense when I said it out. Oh, fuck.
It's more psychotic that she's singing while she does it.
Yeah. Where's the baby?
I don't know. Do they have any electricity in this fucking place?
That looks like electric light.
Seems like everywhere they go is in darkness and they have to carry their shitty light with them.
Here's a...
The Angelus. Everybody, get ready.
Please.
Zombies, don't go in there.
Is that her?
Yes. Yes.
Is that not a very un-Christian thing to do? To put
the coins on them? Oh, watch the harp. I haven't seen that in a while.
Oh. It's been the coins all along.
This guy's determined to save the baby. Where's the baby? Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
She hemorrhaged.
The baby? She said.
That's not the baby.
It's a bit big, but could be.
Just walked right out. Is that pipes or what are they?
Oh. Yeah. See, I know they're traditionally supposed to be scarier, right? But I just don't think little ghost kids could creep me out that much.
Oh, it creeped me out.
I think I'd start to feel too sorry for the guy. We were like, oh, why are you stuck here?
Yeah.
How can I help you? How can I get you out of here?
No.
Until then, see, every time I think like that, though, when it comes to ghosts, my critical mind instantly kicks in with, what if it's a demon just pretending to trick you? And then
that would be always my thing. Yeah. What's he? Oh, he's looking for the baby. I forgot what he was looking for.
Fucking tearing the house up trying to find it. Marco! Polo! Fuck!
Stopped. Are they just going up and down the one stairs the whole time?
Just running throughout the...
Ah, that's not a baby either. Maybe they're not allowed to use electricity at night.
Maybe. Are they going back to the demon hut?
Yeah.
Or that Satan hut?
No, and yeah.
Oh,
what's
who that?
Is that Mother Superior?
Her eyes are taken out. No, it's not Mother Superior.
Yikes.
That was it, yeah. My eyes offend them.
Oh, yeah. I get you.
See, that's another thing. Why would you keep going deeper into the building? Would it not be more effective to take what you have now and go to the police with it and then come back and then you'd have a better chance?
Yeah, but if you had spent years and years and years debunking this stuff, would you not be like, finally, an adventure? And just go for it.
He doesn't seem that enthusiastic in that sense. It's not like he's enthusiastic about the adventure. He's just more determined to save the baby.
That's dirty.
We must save the baby. He could grow up to be a good altar boy.
I remember begging my mom and dad to let me be one of the altar servers. They didn't let me.
Good choice.
Yes.
Even though I don't think that was as common for our generation, was it? It was more before.
Yeah.
And America. Places like that.
Yeah.
I'm wrong there. I'm sure there was plenty of it going on in the 90s too, but thankfully I stayed away from it.
It's just dark. I thought they lost some video.
So what's this, like a tunnel underneath? It's like the tunnels you were talking about in it's live action, isn't it?
The other ones looked more like I said, when I say this was a city underground, it was a city underground, like, do you know that
Like
kind of
legit
yeah, it'd have
functioning-
vaulted ceilings and all, like, and a few layers. And you used to bring cows down there and stuff as well.
I think I'd kind of live in fear that the whole thing would collapse in on us someday. That's
probably why they had like vaulted ceilings and stuff.
Still underground
though, that's true.
Wrong pressure hits it on top.
I'd be happy living in the upper layer. See how we go. Oh, jeez.
Ooh. Are they baby bodies?
They're
bodies?
definitely, they're not infants. They're juveniles. They're kids, like.
The heads look big. The skulls look big. That skull doesn't look big.
No, they're
That is
kids.
a baby. See, again, if this wasn't debunked, is a piece. There'd be more uproar about it. But you saw about the. Do you think they knew that whoever made this in this time knew about the babies being buried under there? And
Maybe.
The 60s, it was the 70s when they got on Earth for the first time.
Yeah.
And then that moves on to the,
No.
That's another reason I'm not crazy about going into tunnels like that.
In case you can't get back out, you lose your way.
You get lost.
Be afraid of getting stuck in a tight
I
space.
say that though. But any time as a child or even as an adult, if you show me like a space like this, I'll want to go into it.
Was your kids kept there? That's a Jack in the Box. So, yep.
But I'd go in so far. Once it got narrow enough,
You'd have to come back out.
Struggle to get through it. I'd turn around and leave. I have to be able to walk into it.
Yeah.
And once I get to a spot where I have to pick between two different ways to go, then I'd be like, oh. So I have that problem when I'm playing video games as well.
How did I get here?
That when I get to a point in the map where there's two ways to go, I'll go one direction so far, and if it seems like that's just going to continue on going, I'll turn around and go back the other direction. It only fucks me up if they both go long distance.
Yeah.
I need to have a look around everywhere and keep going the right direction for this to work. But yeah. They're good guy colours.
Good guy dot. They are good guy colours. He's getting really dusty. Do you reckon they're down there long? Like, are they cutting out every so often and going back and forth? Like, do you reckon they've been?
Can't tell.
Ooh.
It's like the most intense episode of Father Ted ever.
Is that a Dyson?
A vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, it is. Oh no, it's not.
It's a
No,
doll,
it's
a
not.
fucking marionette doll on a fucking stick. Mother of God can't help you now, kid.
Oh, fuck. No. What was that? Okay, he's creepy looking. His face would scare me every time I pan back around because he's gone so
No.
pale. Huh. What the fuck was that?
I don't know if this guy's legging it.
That's John's. That's John, isn't it? The young lad.
Sounds like him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was going to say, you're not past the father part, like, when you're searching for a guy underground. Father Thomas!
Father Thomas. Oh, I'd be like, that.
He can hear you. The thing that chased you can hear you too, buddy.
Mm-mm.
It's behind you.
He's answering him back, though. Oh, no, that's a demon voice.
No. He just got attacked by a killer penguin.
Fucking, we've got an awful problem with those here in Ireland.
They're getting so old now. There's so few young ones. They even kind of walk like penguins. No,
Oh, you're talking about penguins for a minute.
Yeah, we have a problem. All old penguins, no young ones. Disgusting.
They're closing the penguinaries everywhere. Penguinaries? What do you call a place where a penguin lives? A rook? Rookery? Rookery? School of penguins?
The Arctic.
They're closing the Arctic.
You're aware you're flashing everybody in the camera, right?
Oh, Caesar. He's giving you a
It's
dirty
lucky
look.
you said, "Oh, Caesar," or the people who only listen to the audio of this will be like, "What the fuck?" I gotta subscribe and check this out. You don't have to subscribe anymore. Just click on Spotify right there.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah, with the young priest they got Father John.
Yeah, so where did Father Tommy go?
Yeah, he's
John
Father
was here.
Thomas.
Yeah, I know. I thought Father John was looking for Father Tommy.
Yeah, and then the penguin attacked them.
Oh, so it was all okay.
What's he got there?
Gunpowder?
Oh, it's a microphone.
Oh.
Thomas Riley. I think I've only done confession 4 or 5 times in my life.
Yeah, not that often. In secondary school, we used to have to line up and go, all right, they bring us out to the convent.
I did it once, I think, in secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely did it maybe 2 or 3 times in primary school.
I think I remember them getting like nearly a whole troop of priests into the first secondary school I was at, and like literally like you could be stationed with them like in the corridor at the top of your class, or you go out into the convent, or you'd be with them outside of the chair.
I did give him a classroom in our secondary school. Like I said, once I think it happens. I didn't do it. I just remember it was there. Or maybe I did.
Have you ever
can't
done it in the
remember.
box? I've always been very disappointed that I
never.
wasn't getting into that confession box.
But see, I never told him the truth anyway. It was always just, I just
I
give him the
swore
bog
at my
standard.
mom. I wasn't nice to my brother.
Well, I wasn't nice to my brother. I cursed and I didn't do what I was told. I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, you kind of fluff it up a bit,
Like that, yeah.
just so he'd have justification
I'm
to
not
give you
telling
like
that
10
snitch
Hail
what I really
Marys
got
and
up
5
to.
Our Fathers.
Tell them where the bodies are buried. I can confess to you, Father. But then I'll
Well,
have to kill
here's
you.
the gossip. What's going on?
think he's planning to fight the penguin.
Oh, you should probably do it with fire.
Because a preacher, I see the archangel as something like a fucking warrior.
Oh, yeah. I think when you see Michael, the archangel, he is usually portrayed in a suit of armor. Or some kind of...
The power of Christ compels you.
I don't think it's going to work.
He fucking giving it socks, doesn't he? Be gone, Satan!
He's going to give himself a heart
Be
attack.
gone!
He needs to calm and think about his situation. Take stock of his area.
See candles again. Fucking bunch of gots. Knew it.
Found him. Or did you? Oh, no.
Ah, he was caught. We made the baby disappear. You know she's my missus, right?
Ooh.
Oh, Franken nun.
Bye-bye, Thomas. Oh, candlestick. I thought it was swords upside down.
Right.
So we've got 2 dead priests.
Before we talk, see, you've had your little movie moment. No, we got to go back to work and be professional about this. So go get changed again. And I'll meet you back over there and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
All right, do this. And we're back. So, what you make of that? It was interesting.
Yeah. Like you said, it was obviously a whistleblower.
Yeah, I don't think... I mean, look, I'm all for ghosties and stuff like that, but this seemed too in your face to be real. I mean, if this was real, you wouldn't really be going around going, oh, the poor Magdalene women. You'd be going, holy shit, did you see the fucking ghost?
Yep.
Oh my God, ghosts are real. Shit. But I mean, I think it was an effective way to try and get the message across. Because I was saying to you, like, there's no way that the real Magdalene Laundry nuns were fucking satanic worshippers.
Yeah.
They're obviously so fucking holy that they feel like they can judge everybody fucking else and treat everybody else like fucking shit. But I think it was a good way to show us what the nuns were like on the inside, really the real true spirit of the nuns being evil, demonic, kind of fucking psychopaths that took their anger out.
Did you know, though, Mother Teresa really believed that she was possessed by Satan?
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's why she went around
Was a bit
tricking
of a
everybody.
bitch afterwards? Yeah.
It's okay, I'm taking care of all of them. They're going to come to my hospital and suffer for their sins.
Imagine if she could do a voice that deep. Take you out of it a bit.
Either way, I mean, the more you look at this, there's no real information about the priests, the nuns, the women that we see in this video. This video went missing from the 60s up until, I think, 2018 is when it kind of got unearthed. And it's been debunked a bunch of times since. So I do think that this was maybe a whistleblower who tried to get the information out one way or another without causing themselves any harm, because the Catholic Church did have such a hold. It was a religious mafia. Like, they could take you out if they fucking wanted to. And I believe that's what might have happened here. These people have no records. They're nowhere to be seen. They're missing. This video went missing for decades because we didn't find out what was happening inside the laundries for decades, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, to me, this just tells me that the church had hidden this video. The church have quietened, silenced the people who were involved with making it. And, you know, it was kept quiet, and now it's here for all to see, thanks to us.
Yep.
We got
You're
it out there.
welcome.
We're busting up these conspiracies, letting everybody know what's really going down with the Catholic Church, even though they don't have laundries anymore. And now they run around kissing our ass trying to get us to join.
With dirty clothes.
Huh?
With dirty clothes.
What dirty clothes?
Because they don't have anybody to do the laundry anymore.
No. Do you not see the Magdalene sisters? They got themselves some fucking washing machines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That must have pissed the nuns off at the time.
that they were getting lawn or the
Bitches aren't gonna have to work anymore. Fuck.
wonder what they made them do instead. Scrub floors, fill
You
the
know what you
washing
can do?
machines.
Clean the washing machine.
I would have sat on that washing machine while it was
Bet you
on and
would've.
said, "Fuck you! You tried to take me away from it, but you got the washing machine."
Hey nuns, when are we getting a tumble dryer?
Imagine.
You're all going to hell. All right, that's enough for this week. My brain is full of this shit. Either way, I don't think there's ghosts involved. I think this is just more conspiracy with the church. But we leave it there and we'll move on to a different religion and take the piss out of that next week. If you like this show and you want to check out more, then head on over to Patreon at the Horrorverse Network, where we got tons more shows covering true crime, serial killers, ghosts, cryptids, history, and professional wrestling. Happy WrestleMania week, everybody, and everything else that catches your attention. That's all there, available now for only $5.
Yep. And you can check all that out now with our 7-day free trial. That's at Patreon at the Horrorverse Network, and check us out on Instagram at AliveAlivePod and at Amy Rose IAA for news, updates, pics, reels, and more.
We'll be back next week with more tales from the Horrorverse. See you. I just slipped up. It's a Live Alive podcast. All the guts and go with none of the guilt. See you all next time. Same Live Alive time. Same Horrorverse channel. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. I got it right this time. See you next time.